Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back with an interesting video for you. I just got a package in the mail from my friend Holland. For those of you who don't know who Holland is, he is the fella that has come up with the very popular ferrocerium rod called the Lightning Strike. Now, I'm going to set that down real quick. I have a little bit of water here. I have some small sticks and a little bit of grass here. What I want to share with you is something brand new, and this is a fire starting tinder that is used in wet conditions. So they sent me a small sample of this stuff. I have 2 left, so I'm going to go ahead and take one out. Let me show you what it looks like real quick. So it's this stuff right here. I'm going to separate it right here. I'm going to put one right back in this little plastic case. This stuff is really cool, so I'm going to use this one in the video today. So what this stuff is remarkable. Apparently the customers have been looking for a fire starting tinder that is waterproof, water resistant, and they definitely delivered with this Napalm fire tinder. Now, in the cap of the Lightning Strike, for those of you who haven't seen one of these before, this is a really cool fire starting device, and in the cap here there is some tinder, and this tinder works great when it's dry conditions, but this Napalm stuff is for when it's wet outside. So basically this is a ferrocerium rod inside of a aluminum housing, and it has a nice 90-degree spine here, striker, and it basically throws sparks, right? So that's the Lightning Strike. Now you can see that I have a small Nalgene bottle here, and I'm going to pull this lid off. I'm going to set the Napalm in this lid. I'm going to pour some water in there. See that? Completely underwater. See that? Totally wet. I'm going to take it out. Now I'm going to make a fire with it. So I shake it off. From here, I need to just rough this stuff up. I need to open it up, get the fibers open, so that I can make fire with this stuff, this tinder. You just saw that it was wet. I'm going to use the blade of my knife a little bit to help, because this stuff is a little bit gooey, a little bit sticky, but it works really well. So it's important that I open up the fibers. Just like this. See that? You can see that it's kind of sticking on my hands. It's got kind of a greasy feel to it. It's not bad. But I mean, when it comes to something that's waterproof like this, what more can you ask for, honestly? See that, how I opened it up a little bit? So I'm going to lay that down. There's some leaves over here. Throw these leaves down, put that on top of the leaves. You can see I have a little bit of grass here. And for the video, I have some small pieces of wood. I'm going to go ahead and baton a few little pieces here. This is just wood that I had sitting around when I was messing around with my tools earlier. Just going to make a few pieces of wood here. You want to be careful when you're dealing with the blade that you don't want to accidentally cut yourself. I'm just making a little bit of tinder. Or excuse me, kindling. Just like this. Set my knife down. Break these things up. So I'm going to put this tinder away. This grass, I'm going to get just a little bit. I'm going to bring this stuff right into the grass. Let's get this fire starter going. One strike with the Lightning Strike, and you can see that the Napalm is already ignited. Stick these sticks in the ground here. Get a bunch of little pieces going. And in the back here, I'm going to break a few more small ones. Just kind of leaning them in. And I'm just kind of placing them on as I get them going. You want to make sure that when you put this thing here that you have something for it to lean against. So I'm just tapping this in the ground so that way it'll have a little bit of airspace underneath the flames. And that's the napalm burning underneath this wood. This stuff works really good, folks. I'm just putting little pieces on. If I start to notice that I'm running out of flames or something, then I'll add a little bit more grass. But as you can see, that stuff burns for a pretty decent amount of time. See, it's still going. And it's going to the point where it's starting to ignite my wood, my little teepee style method here that I got going on. I'm just adding little tiny pieces of wood. Add some leaves, more grass, things of that nature. I just want to get this going. When you start noticing a little more success, then you can start adding a little bit larger stuff. You can tell that the napalm gives you plenty of time to work on your fire. And as you can tell, that stuff was soaking wet. And I'm just piling it on. Nothing too crazy. Let me back this camera out a bit. A little bit better view of what I'm doing here. These pieces slipped off, but that's okay. Just gonna rest them like that, rest them like that. Make that nice little teepee style there. I'm just batoning wood in the background here, breaking little pieces off, continuing up my teepee. You can see that I didn't even use that much of the napalm. I didn't use much of it at all. Just reorganizing this teepee a little bit. Got my dogs out here. They think they're helping. Sometimes they come out and watch me do these videos and they look at me like I'm crazy. Why are you making fires, dude? Kind of funny. So that's a very simple process. You can see how well that napalm worked. That stuff is super cool. You know, the thing that impresses me the most is it was completely wet. So when the customers asked Holland Guns, you know, the makers of the lightning strike, when they asked for a fire starting tinder that was waterproof, they sure delivered. Really cool. I'm really happy about this. So I'm just adding smaller stuff. Rest this in my pocket back here. You can see I didn't even use all the grass. I still have quite a bit of grass, so if my fire was to start to die or something like that, I could obviously throw some more grass on it if needed. But it doesn't look like I'm going to need that. I just keep piling it on. Nothing too crazy. If you're wondering about the knife I'm using, the knife is a Mora heavy duty. These are great little knives. Oh, that heat from that fire feels so good. You know, if it was really a serious situation, if I couldn't get a fire going, if I had to, I'd be really getting cold because it's chilly outside right now. And not only is it cold outside, but the sun's in the process of going down. So it sure is nice having not only a very nice fire starting device in the lightning strike, but also an excellent tinder that could be used when it's soaking wet. So if you're curious about the fire starter that I used today, the Lightning Strike, please feel free to check out my playlist on the Lightning Strike. I have many videos on there showing this device. It's basically a ferrocerium rod inside of an aluminum housing. There's a set screw right there. You can take that set screw out, take the ferrocerium rod out, and put a new one in if you wish to. And in the cap here, it holds tinder enough to make at least a dozen fires. There's a little rubber part in the cap there so that when you put the cap on and you use this bungee cord here that has tension, it holds that cap tight against the top of the fire starting device, and it keeps everything nice and watertight. Well, folks, I want to say thank you for joining me today on my quick demonstration of the new fire starting tinder, the Napalm tinder. I hope you got some good, useful information out of the video. Please feel free to thumbs up this video, like this video. If you like the content on my channel, please subscribe. Don't forget to check out my Facebook page, and please check the description box down below. I will put links to Holland guns where you can find the Lightning Strike, and you can also find their, as well as the new Napalm tinder that I used in the video today. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. That heat on the hands when it's cold outside feels amazing. The Lightning Strike is just a unique fire starter. I honestly think that it's one of the best ones built.